Welcome back to Probably Did Not Happen, where today we are doing a 10-minute deep dive into a creature that survived the extinction of the dinosaurs, only to be judged by me. Now, before we really get into the story, here's a quick recap of the nightmare fuel we're dealing with. Imagine, if you will, a shark that looks like an eel. An eel that has 300 individual, needle-shaped, terrifying teeth. A creature that has spent the last 80 million years living in total darkness, and in all that time, has not bothered to change its appearance even once. It's what scientists call a living fossil, but what I would call mostly teeth and bad intentions. So let's begin the story of the frilled shark. This animal calls home the parts of the ocean that are up to 5,000 feet deep. This is a place where sunlight is just a distant memory. A place where the pressure is immense and honestly, the vibes are just terrible. It's the deep, dark, scary part of the ocean that we all instinctively know to avoid. Now, the frilled shark doesn't swim like a normal shark. You know that classic graceful torpedo-like movement? Forget that. This thing moves its long, slender body in a serpentine fashion, slithering through the water like an underwater cobra. It's unsettling to watch, a constant, writhing motion that just screams, "I am not from this era." Scientists, after studying the few specimens they've managed to find, believe it hunts in a way that's just as creepy as its swimming style. It doesn't circle its prey. It doesn't do a quick, powerful bite. No, it's believed that the frilled shark strikes at its prey by coiling its body and lunging forward. Exactly like a snake. Imagine being a squid, just minding your own business in the eternal darkness, and suddenly a living toothy spear shoots out of the void to get you. It's pure, unadulterated horror. And let's talk more about that bite because it's truly something special. The frilled shark's jaw is exceptionally long and flexible. This isn't just for show. This unique anatomy allows it to open its mouth incredibly wide, so wide that it can swallow prey that is half its own body length. Think about that for a second. That's like a person swallowing another person who comes up to their waist. Whole. It's a specialist in the bite and never let go department. Those 300 teeth I mentioned? They're arranged in rows and all face backward, into the throat. So once something is caught, there is absolutely no escape. It's a one-way trip to digestion. It's not just a bite. It's a commitment. Now we've covered its home, its movement, and its terrifying hunting strategy. But now we get to the funniest or perhaps most terrifying part of the frilled shark's entire existence, its pregnancy. A female frilled shark can be pregnant for up to 3.5 years. Let me say that again. 3.5 years, 42 months. That is, by a huge margin, the longest gestation period of any vertebrate on the entire planet. An elephant's pregnancy is about 22 months, which we all think is incredibly long. This shark almost doubles that. It's a creature that is so incredibly slow at everything it does, so committed to its ancient, leisurely pace of life, that it even takes 40 months just to be born. Imagine being pregnant for that long. You could complete a college degree, learn several languages, or watch every season of a long-running TV show multiple times over. Meanwhile, the frilled shark is just gestating. It's a prehistoric, eel-shaped, long-term commitment to horror. The babies, when they finally emerge, are not tiny, helpless little things. They are born as fully formed miniature killing machines, ready to start their own slow-motion reign of terror in the deep. They were already equipped with their full set of teeth and the innate knowledge of how to be a deep-sea predator. There's no learning curve. There is only instinct honed over 80 million years of survival. And this all sounds like something I've made up for a spooky story, right? A snake shark with a 3-year pregnancy? But it's 100% factual-ish. We say ish because our knowledge of these creatures is still so limited. We've only seen them a handful of times, usually when they've been accidentally brought up from the deep by fishing trawlers. They don't survive long at the surface, so studying them in their natural habitat is next to impossible. What we know is pieced together from these rare encounters and the autopsies of the few specimens we have. They are a living mystery, a biological enigma wrapped in a riddle and covered in needle-sharp teeth. But the facts we do have paint an incredible picture. Nature, in its infinite and sometimes terrifying wisdom, really looked at this toothy tube 80 million years ago and said, "Yes, this design is perfect." Do not change a single thing for the next 80 million years. While dinosaurs rose and fell, while continents shifted, while mammals evolved from tiny shrew-like creatures into the complex beings we are today, the frilled shark just kept on being a frilled shark. It found a niche so perfect, a lifestyle so successful in its own dark, high-pressure world, that it never needed to adapt. It's a testament to the idea that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Even if it's a horrifying sea serpent from the dawn of time. It's a creature that really puts our own existence into perspective. We've been around for a tiny fraction of the time the frilled shark has. We've changed our world and ourselves so dramatically. The frilled shark, on the other hand, has achieved a kind of evolutionary perfection through simplicity and sheer stubbornness. It's a living relic, a window into a past so distant it's hard to even comprehend. It's a reminder that the world is so much bigger, older, and stranger than we can possibly imagine. Down in the crushing blackness of the abyss, there are stories and creatures that defy our understanding, living out lives that have remained unchanged since the age of dinosaurs. So the next time you're at the beach looking out at the calm, sparkling surface of the ocean, just remember what's lurking thousands of feet below. Remember the toothy, slithering nightmare that takes longer to be born than it takes for us to get a driver's license. Remember the frilled shark, the ultimate survivor, the living fossil that proves that sometimes the best strategy is to be so weird and so terrifying that nothing, not even a planet-killing asteroid, wants to mess with you. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the abyss. If you enjoy stories that make the surface feel safe, make sure to subscribe for more.